The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about like how you first met the Hoods.
Might have been at, I think it was at Cargo, like the first time we came. The first time we came, I remember Daniel and I were on the plane, we're looking at each other like, man, can you believe that someone's actually paying for us to go somewhere to perform music that we love doing and getting paid for that as well? And it was mind blowing to us. Like, wow, can't believe this is actually happening. And yeah, and at that time, I think I met Code as well. Might have met some of the Hoods and some of maybe even like Flack and the older PJ and a lot of the older guys. Because yeah, you'd kind of hear about people, and there were certain releases out that you get, but when you actually went to the city, that's when you met people and bonded, and because not many people were into hip hop at that time, especially local hip hop. But yeah, it was a beautiful time, and when the Hood started gaining momentum and then became like mainstream darlings, it was like, man, it felt so good because it felt like it was one of us had made it, and seeing guys that had gone through, the same kind, went through the same kind of obstacles as we did, but sort of made it through another end. Yeah, it's awesome.
You were on, part of Triple J when the Calling album dropped?
No, not. I think at that time I was filling in now and again because Maya was doing the show, and sometimes I would fill in when she was touring or when she was away or whatever. But I do remember I was still living in Canberra at that time and hearing Dumb Enough, and obviously Nosebleed Section start getting like pumped.
How big of a impact do you think that Triple J spinning that single had?
Yeah, it was massive. I mean, if it wasn't for Triple J, I mean, obviously I worked there, but I'm also a fan and I wasn't working there at that time. Yeah, it was a massive impact because there were certain groups that Triple J was supporting. Even like Matty B's Friday song and Mass MC's Barbecue, and even like Coolism had a few singles through. 1200 Techniques, Resin Dogs, and a few other groups were getting sort of and Downside as well. We're getting sort of spot plays, but they really got behind the Hoods, and I think it was just a great mix of timing and talent that really propelled them to where they are today. But they had always supported the Hoods from, I wouldn't say the beginning, but from the time, and it just all came to a head when the Calling dropped, and that was it.
Apparently, there was a sampling issue
with them,
with the the vocal hook on
Nosebleed Section,
where there's a lady, there's a girl singing. And I don't know how true this is, but apparently she was on tour and she happened to be in the country as that song was blowing up. And, there was a sampling issue. Do you know anything?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's my place to say, but man, that was, how long ago was that?
2003.
Yeah, it's ages ago. I could speak on it now then, but it was nothing bad. But yeah, I mean, I remember performing with the Hoods one night, and then we went out after, had a couple of quiet ones, and he had said that they had been, because she's Australian, the artist, and apparently her or her manager had been calling them and I think leaving messages, and I think they didn't get back to them because they were just thinking, oh man, they've called it, because that song was huge, and apparently that wasn't going to be on the album as well. That was like a last minute inclusion, and I think they were just really nervous, like, oh, what do they want? But apparently, yeah, she just wanted to ring and say she liked the song. They might have worked something out, but I just know that Safa said, yeah, she rang and said, yeah, I liked what you did with it, and I liked what you talked about on the song, because I guess she really felt it. So I think they just like dodged a bullet with that one. I think after that is when they started clearing samples. You have to be when you're in what they are. It's crazy not to.
The lesson.
Oh yeah.